Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be taking a look at Classic Loki from the Loki Disney Plus series. As you can see here on the front, we have a picture of the figure with Loki behind him. Loki's character poster on the side. On the back, another image of the figure with his accessories and his Build-A-Figure piece. A list of our other figures needed to build Khonshu. Loki emblem on the top, not much else at the bottom. So let's open this figure up and get a better look. Here we have Loki out of the box. Now I have to say, I really love this design that they went for with the show, and I think it translated perfectly to the figure. When looking at accessories, he has all open hands, and I'm trying to grab one of them. Right here are his other two. You can see they're very simple, just normal open hands. He also has a smiling face. And one thing I did like that they did with this figure was they packed his helmet in this little casing here to protect it, keep it so from like bending and getting ruined, which was nice. Anyways, that's all the box praise Hasbro's ever going to get for these plastic free ones. They didn't ruin it like they did with my Nakia figure. Her accessories were crap. So overall, yeah, this figure, he's looking nice. He's got like a bit of, kind of like a black wash going right through here. It's very, it's cool. I do think he has a little bit of marbling up there on his helmet. So that is a little disappointing. Can I get my light on him a bit better? It's hard for me to angle it without his horns getting in his face and completely blocking it. But I do have to say, I think both of these heads got a very good likeness to the actor. I believe it was Richard E. Grant, if I remember right. Both of them got very close, in my opinion. I think this one's more so accurate, but I also don't remember him smiling a lot as a character. So that could be some of it. His cape cannot come off and is actually molded on to his body, which is nice to see. And of course, it's a movie figure, so he pretty well gets a completely new sculpt. I don't think there's any reuse here. Of course, pinless joints, which is always cool to see, but as I say, it's not needed. Like, if they don't do pinless, I'm not going to quit the line. It's just a nice thing to see. So taking these off, we'll get a good look at articulation here. So starting at the head, he can look up that far, look down that far. Arms go into a pretty good T-pose for having his cape there. Of course, he has bicep joints, double jointed elbows, and goes up and down. Same for his other ones, because they're the exact same. And I do like this piece they put on his hand here to make it look like his magic, I think it is. His powers. He has an ab crunch that goes that far over. Can go back, but it's kind of difficult because his cape is stiff, but that's fine. Leg kicks up that far, has thigh cut, double jointed knee, and of course, as you saw there, his foot moves out pretty far and goes up pretty far. And of course, he has some ankle pivot. Now, my only real gripe with this figure is his ankle. Listen, you can see it there. It is extremely caved in at the joint. See what I'm talking about? Most of them are more flush, whereas another... Here, look at this Spider-Man figure. See, that's more like flush with his ankle there. I prefer seeing that over the weird gap there, but you know what? It's not that noticeable. Most of the time, you're going to be looking from here up. So I'm not going to whine too much about it. Instead, let's talk about what I like. Because with this figure, there is a lot to like. With one of my main things being, I love it when Hasbro does these power effects. So I'm just going to pop these off so we can get a better look at them. And yeah, these are awesome. They're kind of translucent, so if you put them up, I'm going to try not to blind you guys too much. See how it just kind of shines through, leaving his hand? That's cool. Now I'm blinding myself. There we go. But yeah, I think that's such a cool effect to have. So like if you have a light on your display, it could shine through. So cool. And of course, I think he had one of the more famous deaths out of any of the Marvel shows. And of course, he was featured in the best one. So that does help quite a bit. Yeah, I just love looking at this kind of detail because it's so creative. And as much as you can say, oh, well, if it's so creative, why don't they do it with like Scarlet Witch? I don't know. I'd love for them to do that instead of just like giving her, what was it, red hands to symbolize it. I would much prefer these instead of just recolored red. But yeah, overall, this figure is incredible. All the detail, and it kind of shows up there, that little wash. But I also love the fact, and I didn't even notice it till I was just playing around with it a second ago, the cut for the and I forgot to show it off, yeah. He has a hip rotation, but it's hard to actually notice it's there most of the time when you're posing him around. And honestly, that's really nice to see. Like, when it's hard to notice something like that, I love it. But without further ado, let's actually see how tall this boy is and get him next to some other figures. So, Classic Loki comes in, measuring from the tip of the horn, 6.5 inches tall. And here we have Classic Loki next to his variants from the show, Sylvie and Loki. And both figures I love. I gotta say, these all look pretty nice next to each other. And here we have Classic Loki next to He Who Remains and Mobius. Yeah, Mobius, that's right. Almost forgot. And here we have Classic Loki next to Comic Classic Loki. Now, it wasn't until I put this guy next to him, I realized just how tall this one is. Or how tall, or how short he makes him. I don't know. Anyway, one thing I do really like about the MCU one here is how they adapted the helmet. Instead of being, gosh dang it, instead of being this weird wraparound one, they kind of saw this cutoff that goes right here and did that with it. And honestly, I kind of prefer it being lighter yellow throughout instead of the more gold he has here. And with all that said, I think that'll be it for today. So if you did enjoy the video, please subscribe to the channel. We are getting ever closer to 100 subscribers, and I've been saying that for a while now, so I would like to hit that goal. I would love to give this figure a rating, because it would be pretty high, but I'm trying to avoid that currently, because I always feel that it's going to either be displaying model behavior where, like, the highest I think one's ever gotten was like a 9, because he goes like, what would be a really mediocre figure? Like this clone here would be a 5, dead in the middle, mediocre. Or you go one where just everything you like gets an 8 or 9 and nothing ever is a 1, because nothing's ever that bad. So, it's always kind of whatever. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to tell you I love this figure, and I think you should go pick him up. If you see him in stores, if you see him discounted online and you were thinking about it, get it anyway. You won't regret it. And again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.